from Rep. Carlos A. Jimenez. God bless America. Our troops just off the coast of Venezuela. And I'm just doing this. Let's see. I think I got the volume worked out. All right. Let's just jump right into this. Here we go, man. Let's go. Fuck yeah, America! Fuck yeah! Uh-oh, that's loud. Oh, I love the sound of copyright to start the show. Fuck yeah! That's America and the Caribbean Sea. The B-2. Was that the Stratofortress? That what is that, B-52, I think? That one, maybe? I know that one. I've seen that one. B-2. Damn, that's a badass plane, too. Is that maybe a Raptor F-35, maybe? I don't know, man. I don't know my planes too well. Correct me in the comments. Make me look stupid. That's an aircraft carrier, man. Nuclear powered. You can sit out there in the ocean for over 30 years and not ever need an electrical recharge. All right. All right, enough fun with that. That was way early this morning when that video was shared. So actually, not even this morning. It was actually shared last night at 9:22 p.m. So if you're keeping up on current events, there was something quite significant that happened in the Caribbean Sea today, which is what my title is for this video and what I led with in the intro. So this is from OSINT Defender. The U.S. Navy carried out a lethal strike earlier today against a vessel being operated by a designated narco-terrorist organization in the southern Caribbean Sea, which had recently departed from Venezuela, according to the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio. And then we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to get a couple of video clips to check out here in a moment. From Rep. Wesley Hunt press office, President Trump increases the crackdown on the cartels. Trump announces U.S. military strike on Venezuelan drug boat. Stopping the flow of illegal drugs into this country is a top priority for the current administration. Promises kept. Let's give this a watch.
Over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat.
Not anymore.
And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and
yeah,
our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so
about 4 o'clock,
incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it. We didn't do what we did, but he gave us a little bit of a briefing. And you'll see, and there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time.
That we do.
And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela.
Yeah, a lot of things are. Communism, for one, fascism, drugs, all kinds of crazy shit. A lot of criminals that were emptied out of the prison system in Venezuela and sent up here a few years ago, which we're rounding up as we speak. Thank God for the federal agents that are out there doing that. I couldn't do what they do. It's unbelievable the rash of shit that they have to take. Not only from the criminal illegals, but also from the Democrats and all the idiots that are on the ground. Completely brainwashed, have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So anyway, we've got this from Donald J. Trump's Truth Social account posted by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just an hour ago, man. So this shit's recent. September 2nd, 5:28 p.m. Earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua narco-terrorists in the SOUTHCOM area of responsibility. TDA is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolas Maduro, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States and Western Hemisphere. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters transporting illegal narcotics heading to the United States. The strike resulted in 11 terrorists killed in action. No U.S. forces were harmed in this strike. Please let this serve as notice to anybody even thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware. Where are we? All right, way down here at the bottom. Beware, and thank you for your attention to this matter. I had to include that. We always got to include it. Thank you for your attention to this matter, because that's how you know it's from the president. That's how you know it's from Trump. And this comes from the White House an hour ago. On video, the U.S. military forces conducted a strike against Trinidad narco-terrorists. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters transporting illegal narcotics heading to the U.S. The strike resulted in 11 terrorists killed in action. Dude, they got a hold of this video fast, man. I mean, it's the military. It's the government. Of course they get the video. I'm sure that Trump was watching this in real time. It's just... what I really meant was it's nice that they gave it to the public so freaking quick, man. For this to have only occurred, as I speak, only a couple hours ago, man. It's not even 7:30 p.m. my time, Florida time, Eastern time. And let's give this a check out. I have another one from Marco Rubio. It's shorter, so I figured we'd play the longer version. So let me see. Yeah, see, what sucks about X is that I have to play it before I can size it up. But whatever. All right, here we go. I don't think there's sound. No, there's no sound. Nope, no sound. 11 terrorists right there. Got to kill them evildoers, as George W. might put it. All right, so they're going to zoom out. Here we go. Here comes the splash. Boom! Fuck you! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that as the boat sinks below the waves. And there you have it. Taken out by the U.S. military in the SOUTHCOM area of responsibility from Marco Rubio. And we also have his response, or he responded to Rapid Response 47. We just over the last few minutes shot out a drug-carrying boat, and there's more where that came from. These came out of Venezuela. I'm assuming this is the exact same video that we just watched from President Trump here. It looks like the same people are standing next to him, this dude, so... I suppose I could play it, or at least start to play it. Maybe we got a little bit of extra info
when you come out, and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that. Okay, yeah, we got it. We got the gist of it. Fuck around, find out, man. Winning. Fucking A. Let's fucking go. Thank you, Mr. President. For everyone wondering, this is what Secretary Rubio was talking about in his cryptic post. Ah. Really? He had a cryptic post earlier today, huh? Well, let's see, shall we? So 50 minutes ago, an hour ago, 6 hours ago. No, that's not going to be it. September 1st. He said earlier today, right? Polish government. Hold on, let's see. No, that has to do with Polish government. President's going to be on offense against drug cartels. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says cartels are in for a rude awakening after the U.S. military destroyed a drug-laden boat from Venezuela. Let's see what he had to say about it.
The president is going to be on offense against drug cartels and drug trafficking in the United States. It destabilizes not just the country, but the entire Caribbean basin. These particular drugs were probably headed to Trinidad or some other country in the Caribbean, at which point
okay, so this is after the fact.
The instability these countries are facing. So the president's been very clear that he's going to use the full power of America, the full might of the United States, to take on and eradicate these drug cartels.
You know, that's actually a good point that he brings up. We don't know 100% for certainty that they were actually bound for the United States. It looked like they were on, what, a dinghy or something. It didn't look like they were on a boat that was capable of traveling from Venezuela, which is in northern South America, all the way up to the United States. So they very well could have been going somewhere else, like maybe Aruba. Aruba's fairly close to Venezuela, I think, or maybe one of the Lesser Antilles Islands, which is really far from Venezuela. But they could have just been traveling to another Caribbean country, and we basically did that country a favor. We blew them out of the water, so now drugs aren't going to pour into another nation somewhere in the Caribbean.
No matter where they're operating from, and no matter how long they've been able to act with impunity, those days
These
are
people
over.
with their phones. That's hilarious. Back in the day, they all had microphones with their news company's logo on it, and now they've all got a bunch of smartphones pointing at them. So I'm assuming that might have been the cryptic post. On my way to Mexico City, and I mean, this was after the fact. Illegal immigration and countering transnational crime and terrorism in our region. There was that one 6 hours ago. I mean, this isn't talking about drugs at all. This was yesterday. So that's a happy Labor Day post. Okay, hold on. This was back on August 29th, and he didn't post it. He reposted it. We're honored to host Secretary Rubio at the SOUTHCOM headquarters, which was the area of responsibility where this drug boat was blown out of the water. Secretary Rubio met with SOUTHCOM Commander Admiral Alvin Holsley and command leaders to discuss security in Latin America and the Caribbean and U.S. priorities in our region.